Rabbi Marilee Gordon of McHenry County Jewish Congregation. I want to talk to you about something that occurred to me when I was reading this week's Torah portion. We refer to the Torah portion as the parasha. And this week's portion is called Beha'alotecha, when you raise up. The Torah readings are all called, their names are the first word, or the first significant word in the portion. And I opened it up thinking about the fact that here the Israelites have been parked at Mount Sinai for a year after they got the Ten Commandments. Then Moses was gone for who knows how long. Then they had to build the portable ark. Now they're finally ready to move. I thought, maybe I'll talk about that. But then I was reading over it, and I came across something else, because the Parsha, is several chapters. And in chapter 9, it's talking about, it comes around that it's Passover. It's a year after they left Egypt, so they're celebrating Passover. And it says, when a stranger, that is to say a non-Israelite, who resides with you would offer a Passover sacrifice, they must offer it in accordance with the rules and rites of the Passover sacrifice. And here's what struck me. There shall be one law for you, whether stranger or citizen of the country. Now, for stranger, you could read resident, you could read immigrant, right? So it really struck me because I've seen it elsewhere. And so I took out my concordance where you look up a word that occurs in the Bible, and it tells you where else it occurs. And I found several places, and one of the places that I was familiar with was from the Holiness Code, where we're familiar with love your neighbor as yourself, and then later in the chapter it says, love the stranger as yourself. And the word for stranger, that we translate as stranger, is actually resident. And, we have in this country what are called resident aliens. That is to say, it's a terrible term, but it means they're not citizens. But that's basically what we're talking about here. And it says, love the stranger as you love the citizen. And then I'm looking down here at all the different places where it occurs, and in next week's portion, it says this. There shall be one law for you and the resident stranger. It shall be a law for all time through the ages. You and the stranger shall be alike before God. Same ritual and the same rule shall apply to you and to the stranger who resides among you. So, just reminds me of all the Bible-toting people who want to get rid of all the immigrants who don't have the right papers in this country. Hello, have you been reading your Bible? No, not the part that matters, not the part that has to do with how do we treat others, especially others who are not on an equal basis with us, those who are in need of one thing or another. And so here we are in the midst of all these protests against how immigrants are being treated in this country. And we have our own scriptures to tell us to treat the immigrant who doesn't have papers the same way we treat the citizen. Same rules, same benefits. So, let's do it.